Hola mis amigos, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Brock Page, welcome to the show. Happy Friday to you. Let's get into it. Boston's at Washington for Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Semis. We have ourselves an 8 o'clock Eastern start at the Verizon Center near our nation's capital. The betting in this one opened up with Washington as the 4.5-point favorites with the total at 216.5. Since then, the Wizards are now -5 against the spread, with the total moving slightly downward to an even 216. Currently, Washington's the money line favorite, laying 220. And at the moment, 53% of bettors think the Wizards will get the job done. Speaking of the Wizards getting the job done, they're doing just that at home. Washington's 2 series wins have come in the friendly confines of the Verizon Center, winning by an average of 23 staggering points in those victories. Conversely, Wizards successfully covered the spread in those victories as well. Speaking of the spread, the Wizards are a respectable 27-19 against the spread at home this year. They're also 23-16 against the spread as the official home favorite. All that said, Washington bettors are not fully in the clear when it comes to this one. The Wizards have covered just 13 of 31 games versus teams over 500 this season. They've also covered just 4 of 9 head-to-head matchups with the Celtics. The Wizards are facing a Boston team who's 5-4 against the spread in head-to-head matchups with the Wizards, and they're 3-2 against the spread in this very series. Furthermore, Boston covers a solid 63% of their games on the road. This is going to be a tough one to pick. Let's take a quick break from the action before we break down the total points. Dame un segundo. Let's briefly break down last night's NBA action. The Spurs advanced to the Western Conference Finals last night with a 114-75 beatdown of the Rockets in Houston. Mr. Harden played like someone shook him down in the back alley of Fremont Street. I took the Spurs to cover in that one, but failed to win on the total points and the money line. As a result, last night's NBA action left me with an embarrassing record of 1-2 on my picks. On a lighter note, my overall win-loss still remains at 59.8%. We're going to look to get back on track this evening. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and slide back into tonight's action. We've seen a ton of scoring in this series. 4 out of the series' 5 games have gone over the total posted points. That said, the lone under in this series did come at the Verizon Center in Washington. We're looking at an average of 227 total combined points scored in this series' 5 games thus far. In the 2 games played on Washington's home court, we are looking at an average of just 214 total combined points, however. The time for talk is over. Let's go ahead and shoot some darts. With the aforementioned zesty gumbo of stats, numbers, and commentary, I am indeed ready to make my picks for this matchup. When it comes to the spread, I think the Wizards -5 will get the job done against the number. When it comes to the total, I think this one goes over 216. And when it comes to the money line cash, I think the Wizards force a Game 7. Based on complete and utter nonsense and no empirical data whatsoever, I'm predicting a final score of 112-106 in favor of the Wizards. Well, folks, that is going to do it for me. Nos vemos a la próxima. But before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.